Hello everyone. I welcome you all in this video of blogging. Here in this video I will highlight important mistakes made by bloggers. Before that, it's a request to please press the bell icon and subscribe to Knowledge Builder. 1. Create blog posts that serve your larger company goals. Mistake. You think of ideas that only interest you. As much as you might read and reread your blog posts after you publish them, you're not the only reader or the intended reader. When you start blogging, ideas will come to you at random times in the shower, on a run, while on the phone with your mom. While the ideas may come at random moments, the ideas themselves should never be random. Just because it's a good idea in general or something that interests you personally doesn't mean it's a good idea for your company. Your blog is a honeypot, not a megaphone. Make it a point to position your content around what your audience wants to discover, not what you want to tell them. Solution. Align your blog posts with company growth goals. The reason you're blogging is to solve problems for your audience and, ultimately, to grow your business. So, all of your blog post ideas should help serve those growth goals. They should have natural tie-ins to issues in your industry and address specific questions and concerns your prospects have. Need help figuring out what those goals are and how to address them? Chat with your manager about the larger company goals and then schedule a meeting with someone on the sales team to hear what questions they get asked most often. After both meetings, you should know which goals you need to achieve and have some ideas on how to achieve them. 2. Identify what resonates with your audience. Mistake. You forget about your persona. If you want your blog content to perform well, i.e. generate traffic, leads, and sales, it must resonate with your audience and compel them to take action. One of the biggest mistakes is assuming that your content will perform if you haven't actually considered your audience or the actions you want them to take. Your persona is the basis for everything you create. Writing for yourself won't always resonate with your intended audience. If you, instead, speak to your persona's pains, challenges, and goals, and they feel like you are speaking to them, they are more likely to stay on the page and convert on your offer. Christina Perricone, Senior Manager, Content Marketing at HubSpot. Solution. Understand your persona's pain points and solve them. By defining your buyer persona and the things that matter to them, you can bridge the gap with your content. If you're not consciously thinking about your persona's pains, you're just creating content for content's sake, which is a waste of resources. 3. Write like you talk. Mistake. Your writing is too stiff. Writing a blog post is much different than writing a term paper. But when bloggers first start out, they usually only have experience with the latter. The problem: the style of writing from a term paper is not the style of writing people enjoy reading. Let's be honest, most of the people who see your post aren't going to read the whole thing. If you want to keep them interested, you have to compel them to keep reading by writing in a style that's effortless to read. Solution. Write blogs that feel personable. It's okay to be more conversational in your writing. In fact, we encourage it. The more approachable your writing is, the more people will enjoy reading it. People want to feel like they're doing business with real people, not robots. So loosen up your writing, throw in contractions, get rid of the jargon, make a pun or two. That's how real people talk. And that's what real people like to read. 4. Show your personality, don't tell it. Mistake. You think people care about you as a writer. It sounds harsh, but it's the truth. When people first start out blogging, they think that their audience will be inherently interested in their stories and their interests, but that's not the case. It's no knock against them as a person, it's just that when you're new, no one is interested in you and your experiences. People care way more about what you can teach them. Solution. Infuse your personality without eclipsing the topic. Even though people don't really care that it's you that's writing the post, you can infuse parts of your personality in your writing to make them feel more comfortable with you. How you do that is entirely up to you. Some people like to crack jokes, some like to make pop culture references, and others have a way with vivid descriptions to infuse personality into your own writing. Try looking for ways to relate to your readers on the topic you're writing about, then write in the first person, as if you're hanging out with them and chatting about it. Make your tone personal, approachable, and engaging, just like you would in a face-to-face conversation. 5. Start with a very specific working title. Mistake. Your topics are too broad. When people start blogging, they generally want to write on really big topics like how to do social media marketing, business best practices, how to make money on the internet. Topics like these are far too broad because there are so many details and nuances in these topics. It's really hard to do a good job answering them. Plus, more specific topics tend to attract smaller, more targeted audiences, which tend to be higher quality and more likely to convert into leads and customers. So, to get the most short-term and long-term benefits of blogging, you'll need to get way more specific. Solution: begin with a clear, concise idea. Nailing really specific blog topics is crucial to knocking your first few posts out of the park. Let us help you brainstorm with our blog ideas generator. This tool allows you to enter basic terms you know you want to cover and then produces 5 sample blog titles that work for business blogs. Keep in mind that a working title isn't final. It's just a concrete angle you can use to keep your writing on track. Once you nail this stage of the ideation process, it's much easier to write your blog posts. 6. Specific posts should still tie into the bigger picture. Mistake: you don't tie a specific topic into your reader's broader struggle. You already know how important it is to resonate with your buyer persona and understand their pain points. However, there's a reason why they're experiencing pain points and what is driving them to get it solved. Solution: understand the challenges and consequences they're facing. You should be asking yourself, what is at stake? What do they gain by taking action? If they don't take action, what will happen? All of these things can manifest in the content that you write for your blog post. Doing so will signal to your reader that you understand what they're going through and that you want to help. If you're uninterested in a particular topic you're writing about, it's probably because you haven't stopped to think about the big picture. Understanding how the topic you're writing about will fit into a reader's broader challenges will help you find meaning and value in any post you write and will enable you to connect with your readers better. Carolyn Forsey, Senior Content Strategist at HubSpot. 7. Use a specific post type, create an outline, and use headers. Mistake: your writing is a brain dump. Sometimes when I get a great idea I'm excited about, it's really tempting to just sit down and let it flow out of me. But what I get is usually a subpar blog post. Why? The stream of consciousness style of writing isn't really a good style for blog posts. Most people are going to scan your blog posts, not read them, so it needs to be organized really well for that to happen. Solution: structure your blog with a template, outline, and section headers. The first thing you should do is choose what type of blog post you're going to write. Is it a how-to post, a list-based post, a curated collection post, a SlideShare presentation? For help on this, download our free templates for creating different types of blog posts. Once you have a template down, it'll be easier to write your outline. Writing an outline makes a big difference. If you put in the time up front to organize your thoughts and create a logical flow in your post, the rest becomes easy. You're basically just filling in the blanks. Using headers is also critical for the reader experience. While it's nice to imagine that your readers hang on your every word, the reality is that they're probably mostly skimming your posts. As you write, be sure you're making your piece skim-friendly, including plenty of paragraph breaks, clearly titled sections, relevant images, and formatting that makes it easy to find the piece of information they came for. Carla Cook, Senior Manager of the HubSpot blog team. To write a blog post outline, first come up with a list of the top takeaways you want your readers to get from your post. Then, break up those takeaways into larger section headers. When you put in a section header every few paragraphs, your blog post becomes easier and more enjoyable to read. 8. Give your audience something to walk away with. Mistake: you're relying on vague concepts instead of concrete information. One of the first things you'll do in your blog research is look up how other publications are writing about a topic. If you notice, almost all of the results on the first page of Google are writing about conceptual, vague ideas. How can your blog stick out? You can include concrete, actionable steps for your readers to achieve success. Solution: include actionable steps for your readers to follow. One of the biggest tenets of content creation is that it should be useful, and that means your audience should walk away with something. People want to learn how to do things in actuality, not just theoretically. When you're done with a blog, ask yourself, will the reader know how to implement this idea? Or did I provide steps to achieve success? Rebecca Riserbato, former staff writer at HubSpot. This might come in the form of a how-to, as you recommend they implement a particular strategy, or it might simply be a suggestion for a tool or tactic to make a process easier. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, share and subscribe to Knowledge Builder.